Well, this is a pretty cool spot. I've never taken a photo from here. Center Street Bridge in Calgary. There's the Bow River. Chinatown is just in behind me. So I just want to get a shot of this first. And there's the Calgary Tower. So this is all Chinatown here for a couple of blocks that way. And I'm just going to head on to the Bow River path system starting here. I'll walk through downtown. The last time I came through here would have been, I think, mid-September on my bike. Everything was still green. Those colors are changing fast. But most of the leaves are still hanging on. And I mentioned before, that's probably because of the whole 3 weeks of rain we had in July, which is abnormal for Calgary. Typically July is a fairly dry month. So I'm just going to continue on my journey. Beautiful day. We're supposed to hit 18 or 19, maybe 20. Not a cloud in the sky. Yet the forecast says a high of, I think, 16 only, and then by 3 o'clock clouds, potential snow and rain. Go figure. And for the weekend we take a dip. But then our temperatures go back up again next week for a little bit. But it is October, so I'll take it. And that's the ramp I just came off of, and as you can see, pedestrian and bikes go underneath the bridge too. It's a beautiful promenade and bike path system we have here in Calgary. And that's the easternmost part of downtown there. Gotta watch out for bikes in this lane. You can see part of the Bow building. I think that's 58 or 60 stories, that one. I like these condo apartments. They're sort of tiered when you get to the other side here. I wonder what these sell for on the riverfront. That's the easternmost point of Princess Island there. And the rest of it is in behind all these trees. Another shot of those properties. You can see yeah, there's quite a few of these, and they were all built around the same time.
But there's a book.
Yeah, they seem to be never ending. I think they finished this promenade about 15 years ago. There was always a path going through here, but it was not as elaborate and it was not divided. You got a nice wide promenade for pedestrians and then the bike lanes over there, as you can see. We'll do a shot from here. And coming up on my right is the first of a few bridges that take you across to Princess Island Park. I'm just going to zip over here. To the left was the former Eau Claire Market that was built back, I think, in the early 90s. And they totally demolished it. Now, initially, the plan was for our Green Line Extension LRT to go underground. They were going to put a station and it was going to go under the river. I'm not sure what they're proposing now. But nevertheless, they leveled Eau Claire, and I had no problem. It was kind of an eyesore, in my opinion. Very outdated. Most of what they built back in the early 90s did not look too well 20 or 30 years on. Very dated. But I suppose some younger people here have attachment to it, but it was a blemish. I would rather if they would have taken the old bus barns and factories and warehouses that used to be through here and repurposed those as a market, something like Granville Island, you know, in Vancouver. But they chose to make a tacky eyesore. Initially, that was the first IMAX theater in Calgary, and the IMAX closed, but they had a regular theater there, like a little shopping mall. But it was not busy. Hardly anybody was using it by the late 2000s. It fell out of favor. So I'm going to cross over this way, check for joggers and bikes that shouldn't be here.
Why are they cold? Because your body heats your breath. Focus on your exterior. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I'll just do a quick 360. And a lot of people, even locals, tend to refer to this as Princess Island. It's actually Prince's Island. And Prince is the last name of a fellow. He owned a sawmill and a lot of other stuff here during the late 1800s. And it's in his namesake. You can see they've dammed this up, and what was a nice pond there, they've drained that. They're going to fill it up and then probably isolate the pipe so they don't freeze in the winter, and then they flood that portion that looks like dirt. They flood that with ice, or they let that freeze over, in the winter. And it's a public rink. You can actually feel this bridge bounce like crazy, like serious. More so than a cable suspension bridge, every step you take. I'm really impressed that we have this many leaves, given the fact we're going into mid-October. You never see this. I mean, usually it looks like this late September, mid to late September. In fact, I have a video from September 20th last year, and it kind of looked like this. I'm not going to bother. There's a nature path that goes around here and some wetland at the eastmost point of Princess Island, but I won't bother with that. I'm going to mosey through here. Yeah, gone are all the flowers that were here even a couple of weeks ago. And the water in the pond. Sure looks ugly like that. A few straggler flowers hanging on. But these gardens were just full of flowers all summer. I think some might be perennials. Yeah, like these here. And there's another bridge, and there's a third bridge further up. I've never came here for a winter skate, but I did come through here to look at it, and they had a fire pit and all that kind of, a couple fire pits, if I recall. Wouldn't want to walk on that. It's all muddy. I'll go over there where the umbrellas are and we'll get a quick shot of the beach. Yeah, the whole canal is drained all the way to the next bridge where there's another dam system there. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen this drained. Obviously they must do it every year, but I just haven't come along to witness it drained. You can imagine how beautiful that looks with clear water running through here. And it all comes off the Bow River, which is running over this way. And the Bow River feeds into this little canal. Comes all the way through and back out the other side of the island and feeds back into the Bow River. Oh, somebody didn't like the pathway closed sign. Someone dry dock fishing over here. Maybe they're just doing yoga. And that's the little bridge that I just walked across there. Yeah, it's a beautiful place to sit in the summer. And now, I think we must be upper 20s temperature, or I mean upper teens, maybe 18. So there's that little faux beach, mock beach, more of the promenade. So when I was coming this way heading west, I was walking on this promenade, but I veered off on that bridge. And this is just a continuation here. And it continues all the way to the northwest part of the city. So this portion of the park that I'm coming into was just, they upgraded or updated all this. They tore out the pre-existing, there was a wading pool and a few things like that here. And I think I preferred the earlier park, but this is a nice option. Sand. Pretend you're in Acapulco or Falcon Lake. And you get the idea here. It just goes on and on. I'm going to cross back over and sit in the park. Now I'm walking north through the park. Downtown is behind me, and I'm going to go to this bridge. I think it's a cable suspension bridge, I forget. But just a quick shot looking back. Usually when I come to the park, I either sit over here, kind of where this person is, or underneath these trees, or I go over here. There's a little tiny footbridge there, and I would sit there. No shortage of places to sit in this park. Bridge is straight ahead. Such beautiful blue skies. It's hard to believe they forecast 100% cloud, rain, and potential snow this afternoon. And it's already pushing noon. And there's that beautiful Bow River and the clear water. I came through here back in July, August, and it was still quite murky because of all the rain and just the high level from the runoff from the mountains, from the melt. A lot of construction and bike path upgrades all the way along this side of the bike path, right back to Kensington to my left. I'm going to get a shot of downtown from here. That sun doesn't work in my favor probably, but oh, pathway closed. That's the story of Calgary the last year or two. Our incumbent mayor really wants to be re-elected, and she figures by closing everything, and I mean it's nice to do upgrades, but everything at once. It's been a cluster F, if you know what I mean, for both pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, everybody. There was a guy walking with his back towards me, and I figured it's because he didn't want to be on film, but he said no, he wants the view. He walked across the whole bridge backwards. I said, yeah, it's a beautiful view, that's for sure. There's a portion of the new path, pavement, and they got a couple lanes closed off here on Memorial Drive to transport, as a staging area, but also to transport construction materials and whatnot, right? But it goes all the way. I'm not sure how far, perhaps all the way to East Village or further. Let's see this side. Yeah, same thing. They're repaving. The bridge I just came off is straight in front of me, and I'm sitting in one of my favorite spots, right by that little tiny arched bridge. It's October 11th, 2025. Take a note of the foliage. It's beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. I'll stand up quick. You can see part of downtown there. Walking up 3rd Street into the heart of downtown, everything is still so nice and green. These little planters you see along here. Princess Island Park is way back there where I just came from. Yeah. October 11th in green. Calgary. Go figure. All the rain we had in July. That's the culprit. Beautiful day right now. It's 17 degrees Celsius. Starting to look more like Toronto.